Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog. Today we should be able to beat the game. So we're now inside Robotnik space, and the hazards and obstacles on the inside are going to be even more deadly than those on the outside. So we have these spinning wheels, and you need to jump off when you're close to the top. Even though you might think your momentum is rightward at that point, physics just doesn't work like that in Sonic games. So there were two of those switches that control platforms that take us out of that room, and I've taken the top one because, similarly to in Act 1, regardless of which way you really intend to go, it's a good idea to go top first to get a shield. So just up here there's some bombs, but it's safe to jump down to get them off screen. Be careful of the ball on the bike, and there's the shield. So now I'm actually going to go back and take the bottom path. It's quite difficult to get back off this wheel, but there we go. Oh, one bomb still hadn't exploded, but it's off screen from here, so safe. And, didn't mean to lose the shield that early. So the reason I'm going back, there is, in fact, an extra life monitor on both paths. This is the only act in the game with more than one. It's not possible to get, though, because they're both after the point where you're committed to one path or the other. But taking this path means I can get 100 rings as well as the monitor, and for some reason I've decided to get as many lives as I can from the game. Even if that means going through a rather difficult four-blade and conveyor belt section. And this bit is very nasty. You've got to time your movement with both hazards, the flame and the trapdoor. So the thing is to watch for the flame first, then when it disappears, take the trapdoor cycle immediately. And here's a rather unique elevator. If you go in here with at least 50 rings, it will take you up to this top path, which gives you a route across the top of a rather nasty room below. If you don't take the top route at the start to get the shield, you won't have 50 rings by that point, but you can get extra rings on the lower path and then come up. So on this route we can just run all the way along the top of here, and at this point I'm stopping because if I go further there are some nasty hazards, but you see the ring monitors just beyond. There's also a life monitor along with them, and to get it we have to go down. The only way past this electric generator is to roll under it, but be careful of the crusher immediately beyond. And this is how you get up to those lives. Stand here, press up on the D-pad to look up, and there will be an appearing platform every 18 seconds. I promise it, I'm not kidding, it will appear. Okay, that appeared at 4:27, so add 17 and you get 44, so at 4:44 I'm going to start a running jump towards it. Now. Down here's another shield, very useful. Huh. So we're nearly at the end of this act, which is a good thing because we've taken more than 5 minutes to reach this point. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned it before, but there is a 10 minutes time limit for all acts. You'll simply die if you hit that time limit. So we have another of these staircases with ball hogs. This time we're going down instead of up, but there is a very helpful invincibility at the top if you can get past that. Well, that was rude. If you can get past that spike ball. Oh yeah, I forgot which way I was going there. And the last obstacle of the act, these spikes in the ceiling. Rather dangerous for me as I don't have rings. You can jump over them. And don't have a shield, I mean. And what's this? A boss already? Well, we can't actually get in there. Robotnik is going to step on that and drop us down. But back to Labyrinth Zone. Okay, so jump on this switch, and there is actually a short route through the zone if you run ahead of this moving platform before it closes that gap. I'm not going to take it because at this point I want to get all the 1-up monitors and 100 rings in every act in the game, just because it's a fun thing to achieve. There's really no point in going for it now because it means you have to go on a much harder path through the zone. So honestly, even if you get to this zone with only 1 life, I'd advise you to take the shortcut. And the final boss is not that hard, you should be able to do it in 1 attempt. Okay, so there's 2 ways down into the main chamber. I went past the first one because I wanted this ring monitor. There are exactly 103 rings available on the path I'm taking, so got to get as many as I can. Stop for air at every opportunity in this zone because the bubbles are much slower to come out than they were in Labyrinth. Here I really want to kill this Orbinaut, so I'm waiting, then I'll go down. Standing on the bubbles activates them, and if you can do that in the 5 or 4 of the countdown, you're going to be safe. So there was no reason to panic there. Up here, to the right is the route through the zone, but I'm going left first for these rings. I do apologise, but you are going to hear the drowning music quite a lot in this zone. And over here, past the Orbinaut we killed, that's the extra life monitor. Stop for air again. The long route does demand quite a bit of patience. And there where you heard the music restart, that's a cue that the drowning music was just about to start, but didn't. And there again. So here there are 3 spikes in the ceiling, be a bit careful. The third one will generally be safe if you've timed yourself past the first 2. And here's an Orbinaut, you know the procedure. But the thing with this one is, be very careful because of that air bubble. It will cancel your jump, and then the Orbinaut can still hit you, even when he's lost his spikes. So this time I'm not going to stop for air because the surface is not very far away, and of course the surface refills your lungs instantly without having to wait for the countdown. More burrow bots and spikes. There's one in the floor right there, so be very careful of that one. And veer a bit to the left here so you don't collide with the burrow bot. She's easy to take out. Another Orbinaut, you know the procedure by now. But after you've killed this Orbinaut, go back for air, because the next stretch, it's the end of the act, but it is also by far the hardest part. Okay. So taking extra care of that spike, get past the burrow bot, and here's your reward, a 10-ring monitor that should get you to an extra life. Avoid the first alcove. You've got to get up here as fast as possible. There's another spike. And whatever you do, don't stop for air there, because we're at the surface. And if you can get past the second spike, I find the one in the left isn't hard if you go past the second one as quickly as possible. The way they time together mean that the left one won't hit you. Anyway, that was it. That's all. We're in the final zone, and there's nothing but the boss. But the funny thing about this boss, you don't get any rings for the entire boss fight. It's still not that hard. So these pistons come down 2 at a time. Yeah, I think it's entirely random which 2. And the good doctor will be in one of them. Jump into him 8 times to win the fight. Missed him that time. The spike things, they're not really spikes, they're electric. They aim towards you. But as you can see, standing in the middle... I missed him again. That's 3 in a row I've missed. That just prolongs the fight. Standing in the middle and jumping out. No, this time there's 2 close together in the middle, so I'll stand this side. I got him, but I think that's only 4. That time I didn't even need to jump, there was a large gap. There we are, we've completed the game. The good doctor is surprisingly good at running away, but all it takes is one jump and he's down. And Sonic gets to show off that he got all the Chaos Emeralds. Well, that was great fun. I really enjoyed going back to this game. It is the first in the series. It's a bit less polished, but it is still a wonderful game even after all these years. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this Let's Play as much as I've enjoyed making it. And see you next week when I'm going to do the second game in the series. And some of you may have a clue already about what game that's going to be. but I'm just going to leave the credits running because it's, you know, a nice bit of nostalgia to get a look at all these zones without having to play through them. Now that's how it's done. And that really is it. See you next week.